a 7-in-1 day. Well, I should say a 7-in-1 streak. We had another winning day yesterday, so that's 3 straight winning days. So we'll take it here. Ending off the month strong. Let's see if we can finish up the month of February good today. We've got 3 best bets on the way for you. 1 in college basketball and 2 in the NBA. Let's get into it. This is the Free 3.
I love it, Noble. Noble, I also love your YouTube videos. I watched them while I was gone. That was fire.
But getting paid because yesterday we had a full sweep. Mike going under, that was just icing on the cake. Why are we going to go in such a weak AFC South? Unless we have the NBA blowout association today.
Bang! Knicks take a 1-point lead with 13 seconds.
When you hear the sirens, you know what that means.
You got barbecue back there, and you didn't invite me. Hurt my feelings.
Good morning and what is up, my friends? It is your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we just try to get to the bag together and make that money. Like I said in the intro, things have been turning around for us here to end the month of February, and we've needed it like air because the rough start to the month, it was like we were losing every single hardwood haymaker, every single bankroll builder. We were losing games on the hook, and then finally we've been able to string some winners together over the last few days. 3 straight winning days on the channel this week thus far. 4 out of the last 5 days. You can't beat that. And then also to go with a 3-in-1 day yesterday. You love to see it. I can't hit the horn because we did lose. So unfortunately, we don't have back-to-back sweeps, but I'll take a winning day. Like I said yesterday, you can see here real quickly, we had a 3-in-1 day, not too shabby. You can see how we've done over the last 7 days. And let's pull up real quickly what we did yesterday. Our only loss was our moneyline parlay. For some reason, when I cook up moneyline parlays on the video, I cannot seem to hit. But when I put in the bankroll builder later on in the day on Action Network, it seems to hit. So maybe I'm just going to stop building the builders live, and maybe I should just do it later on. But yesterday, it was tough because Indiana Purdue Fort Wayne was our only loss, and they really should have won that game. They were winning the game in the first half. They just had some bad turnovers down the stretch, and it blew our parlay. But our other best bets, Brooke Lopez, I told you over 1.5 assists was going to be ugly, but we got it done. And hopefully you guys were able to get some good CLV on that one as the line moved pretty aggressively on that. I told you to take his points, his PRAs, they all hit. UAB on the money line, and this was just one of those games where I said to my boy Shark Lark, I'm going with the better team. I know what the line says. The line says to take Wichita, but I just knew who the better team was, who the better coach team, and that was UAB. And then I added, speaking about my boy Shark Lark, I added one of his plays. I always like to see what plays he's taking. He's more of a machine gunner. He'll take like 15 plays and go like 10 of 5. So I always try to find the one that I really like that I think is going to hit. And he had the over in the Phoenix Pelicans game. And it's just like one of those trends I've been looking at is the Suns. Like they're not playing any defense. And yesterday was another example, and that cashed in. So officially 2-in-1 on the plays that we put on the channel. I had one extra play that hit, and it really would have been a good day because I had the over in Rutgers, Michigan. I liked Rutgers +9, so there were a few other leans that I had as well. So I'm liking the way that I'm reading the board right now, and hopefully we can keep that momentum going again today. If you're new to the channel, I appreciate you tapping in. My name is Noble Living, and again, we're here every day. If you're not hitting that subscribe button or that like button, I don't know what you're doing, because my goal is to get us ready for college basketball March Madness. It is right around the corner. Conference tournament time is here, and we've been breaking down the slate. And I think next week I'm going to kind of do like a full long form video where I'm breaking down like kind of each conference and some of the things to look forward to going into conference play. So for today, we're going to dive into 3 best bets. And speaking about college basketball, let's go to the college basketball card here and let's see what we're going to cook up with for today. In today's college basketball card, it's a lot of mid-majors, so I don't really want to force too many things, if I'm going to be honest. So because of that, I'm going to go to probably the biggest game of the day, the game that a lot of people are going to be talking about, and that is Purdue, as they are at home against UCLA. And you can see here that the line opened at 4.5, and now it's at 5.5 in favor of Purdue. And I have to agree with the line movement. Why? Because Purdue has lost 4 straight games. If we go to KenPom real quickly, we can see that this is a team that was 11-2 in conference. A lot of people thought they were going to run through the Big Ten, and then before you know it, they lose 4 straight games to Michigan, to Wisconsin, Michigan State, and Indiana in their last matchup. But this is the thing. When you look at the 4 losses, you might want to hit the panic button and say, what's going on with Purdue? This is not the time to start falling apart, and I rightfully agree. But look at the opponents. Michigan, on the road, Wisconsin at home, Michigan State on the road, Indiana on the road. 3 of the 4 losses were on the road. That is very tough, and that's against some of the top teams in the conference, like Michigan State. Now, nobody was expecting them to lose on the road in their last game to Indiana, but Indiana is one of those teams right now that's like kind of like Rutgers last night. They're a bubble team. They need to win every game. Their postseason has already started, and you got to keep that in mind in your handicapping. So for today, now we've got a perfect bounce back spot for Purdue after dropping 4 straight games because they're back at home against a West Coast team in UCLA that has to travel not all the way across the country, but about halfway to Indiana to play this game. And I don't want to take the full game because UCLA is one of those scrappy teams. Their defense can keep them inside this game. And I think it can be a lower scoring game considering the fact that Purdue, you can see here, they're 219th in adjusted tempo, and UCLA is 310th in adjusted tempo. So both of these teams typically tend to play a little bit slower, and UCLA at 15th in defensive efficiency, 4th in turnover percentage on the defensive side, can help mitigate what is going to be a very strong Purdue offense, 11th in offensive efficiency. I believe that this is going to be a rocking environment. The stadium is going to be going crazy there in West Lafayette, and as a result, I'm just going to isolate this game to the first half, and I'm going to take Purdue first half minus 2.5. Now, it is key that we get this 2.5 number. If your book has 3, I would then pivot to either an alt line if your book allows you to, or you have to then go to the money line and do like a money line parlay. So let's see if we can get the 2.5, shop around. You can see we're getting at minus 125 odds here. I like that to lock that in to win 1 unit. So this week we've been taking first half bets a little bit more often. And the reason why that is just because when you have the home crowd, after you've just lost several games in a row, you want to come out, you want to make a statement, and there's no better time for you to do that by jumping out to a quick lead. Now, UCLA, like I said, defensively, that is what keeps you in games, in close games. Very similar to what I said with Maryland first half a few days ago against Michigan State. Very similar to what I said with Illinois first half, right? You can come out to a quick first half lead, but then after you go back into the locker room for halftime, then the coaching makes adjustments, and Steve Cronin's one of the best coaches, the head coach of UCLA, in making live game adjustments. So I just don't want to touch the full game. Purdue should win the game. They should cover the full game spread, but I will just isolate this game to the first half, considering where they are situationally. They still have a lot to play for in the conference. If we look at the Big Ten conference standings, you can see Purdue right here at 11-6 in conference, Wisconsin's 12-5, and then you've got Michigan State and Michigan at 14-3. Keep in mind, because of the size of this conference, this is one of those conferences where you can get a bid or a double bid, or a double buy, I should say, not just a bid, but a buy or a double buy. So this is one of those conferences for Purdue. You're still having a lot to play for. Not only are you tied with UCLA right here, but you want to be able to move up maybe a spot or 2, because that is the difference between playing an extra game or not. So for me, Purdue at home, jumping out to a quick start. Let's lock that in for our first best bet of the day. Now, second pick of the day, let us head over to the NBA card real fast. And the NBA card actually looks pretty good today. And I've been reading the player props pretty well, but I actually don't want to touch player props today. You guys know I like to go to our friends over here at Doink Sports, and I like to go to their NBA Trend Insights tab to try to kind of bring my attention to some props that I may have overlooked. This is how I've been finding some of the props I've been finding over the last several days that I've been cashing here on the channel. They are not sponsoring this video or anything like that. It's just a platform that I've been using recently that's been helping me make money. And I saw one of the angles that they recently put out here, and it's actually not a player prop, but more of an alt line. And if I could pull it up and do a quick search here, I am not seeing, hold on, give me 1 second. I got stuff popping up all over the screen here. Sorry about that. Okay, well, it's not going to pop up here, so we'll just fast forward. And I'm going to take a look here at the Clippers and the Lakers matchup for tonight. Well, the Clippers, oh my goodness. Okay, there we go. Just wanted to move that. All right, Clippers are favored in this matchup by 4.5 points. We've got a total of about 210. Now, the line that I'm looking at here, and you could see it's already moved since I done my research this morning, is the team total for the Lakers. And I'm just going to tell you what it is. Lakers team total over 107.5. You can see the book here has it at 108.5. I'm not opposed to that, but I want to get the 107 number. Now, let's look at what the Lakers offense has been doing recently. Now, obviously, they've signed Luka Doncic, which is helping them out offensively, and we're still trying to figure out how him and LeBron and some of these other pieces go together. But overall, this Lakers offense has been pretty efficient. They scored 111 points last night against the Timberwolves, and then the game before that, only 107 against the Mavericks, but they did be able to pick up the win. Game before that, 123 against the Nuggets, 110 against the Trailblazers, 97 against the Hornets, and then 119 and 132 against the Jazz, respectively. So you can see of this number of 107.5 or 108.5, they still have gone over this number in 8 of the last 10 games, averaging 116.5 points per game during that span. I love to see that. Now, if we want to look a little bit closer about when they specifically have played the Clippers, they played them literally 3 weeks ago, back on February the 4th, and they won that game 122-97, covering an 8.5 point spread as an underdog and winning that game outright by close to 30 points. You love to see that. Now, for me, when you look at the Clippers, the reason why I think that we're getting such a low number, about 107.5, even though Lakers are averaging about 116.5, is because of what the Clippers have been doing defensively. But let's scroll over here, and let's take a little bit of a look of what the Clippers have been doing recently in their last 10 games defensively. Last game out, which was 2 days ago against the Bulls on the road, they gave up 117 points. The game before that against the Detroit Pistons, also on the road, 106 points. The game before that against the Pacers, 129 points, 116 points. And then before that, before the All-Star break, I should say, 116 to the Jazz, 114 to the Grizzlies, 110 to the Jazz, 119 to the Pacers. So if you're looking at my screen here, you can see that in 9 of the last 10 games, they've given up over 107.5 or 108 points, and we flirted with 106 with the Pistons. So it really could have been 10 out of the last 10. Pretty impressive, right? I mean, when you look at the fact that we're going to get the Lakers team total over 107.5, talk about a trend play. Now, I think one of the reasons why the Clippers have been taking a hit defensively is because of some of the things that happened around the trade deadline. They've gotten some new pieces like Ben Simmons. They've got to get him acclimated into the offense. And then also look at the stretch here. All road games for them ever since the All-Star break, even before the All-Star break, but 4 straight road games for them coming back from the All-Star break. Now they get to play at home, but it's also the Lakers' home. So is it really a true road environment for them? I don't think so. So from a crosstown rivalry, LeBron still gets to go sleep in his bed, Luka in his new home, and I think that it's just way too low of a number when you just look at what the Clippers have been doing defensively and what the Lakers have been doing offensively with this new offense, and then Austin Reeves, the way that he's shooting it, the chemistry that Luka and LeBron are starting to show for each other. I think it's just a little bit too low of a number here. So we're going to go to the Clippers-Lakers late night matchup at 10 p.m. start off Eastern time. We're going to go over 107.5, minus 115 odds for the team total for our second best bet of the day. Third and final pick of the day is going to be also in the NBA, and it's not going to be a popular pick, maybe, I don't know, but I'm just going to smash it. And we're going to go Pistons, Nuggets, and I'm taking Pistons on the money line, minus 125 odds. Now, it's really just a trend play. The Pistons are the hottest team in basketball right now. How many games have they won? Let's go look at the game overview here on Doing Sports real quickly. I know for sure they've won like 8 games in a row. But let's see here. Okay, Pistons right here. You can see last 5 games, they've won 5 straight games. But it's not even about them winning 5 straight. It's the fact that they've covered 5 straight games during that span, right? But then also, one of the things I really love to see is the stretch that they're currently on. They played the Clippers at home. They grabbed the win. They played the Celtics at home. They grabbed that win by 20 points despite being 4.5 point underdogs. Now you get to play the Nuggets. And the reason why I like this spot for them is not only they're playing the best basketball of the season, not only are they covering the spread consistently, not only are they beating opponents handily. You can see 20-point win. This is a 9-point win. This is a 5-point win. This is a 15-point win. This is an 18-point win. So it's not like they're flirting with close games, but they also get the chance to test themselves against some of the best teams inside of the NBA. They just beat the defending champions in the Celtics. What other best shot to go against one of the other best teams in the league and also one of the previous champions in the Denver Nuggets, and for you to pick up another win at home? Denver has not been bad this season, but you can see since the All-Star break, they're only 3-2, and they lost their last game out last night against the Bucks, 121-112. They're coming off the second night of a back-to-back, so I give the advantage to the Pistons there. The Pistons didn't play last night. The dates are actually wrong on this. this because you can see here it says 2/28, and that's today. So this game is actually yesterday, and this game here that says the 27th for the Celtics, that was actually on the 26th. So they have a game of rest or day of rest in between then. They did not have to travel on that day of rest. They could literally be at home. I think that matters. Meanwhile, the Nuggets had to travel from Indiana to Milwaukee last night, and from Milwaukee, now they're traveling to Detroit to play on the second night of a back-to-back. I like Detroit here. I like them at home. I just like the way that they're playing, okay? Like I said, it's not really one of those numbers plays where it's just like, oh, we're going crazy with they give up the most points to shooting guards and all that stuff, and they're going to exploit Jokic. I just think that this is a young team that has a lot to prove right now, and they're showing it game in, game out, especially against some of the top caliber competition right now in the league. I like the way that the Pistons are playing basketball, so we're going to lock that in for our third and final best bet of the day. And plus, I just want to be able to start reading some of these games outside of just taking player props. And I think this is a good chance for us to be able to get a money line one and a team total for today. So real fast, our three best bets on the day: Pistons on the money line to win 1 unit for -125 odds. Our second one is going to be Lakers team total over 107.5, and that's -115 odds. And finally, we're going to isolate Purdue to the first half against UCLA. Take the -2.5 or lower. Do not take the -3 or -3.5. We want that one bucket insurance. Otherwise, just tease it down or go a money line parlay for the first half money line, and then parlay that with a big favorite like maybe OKC tonight. There are a few others. If you want to take the Merrimack boys, they've been treating us well here on the channel. You can do that as well. But I wanted to kind of stay off of college basketball too much today because we have a loaded college basketball slate tomorrow. Plus, no need to force anything with some of the games that we're having, and we're starting to read the NBA a little bit better as well. All right, my friends, I do appreciate y'all for tapping in here. Every single weekday, every single morning I'm here. It is your boy Noble Living with the free 3 and giving you our picks and plays, all right? If we sweep the board and if you comment below, then you guys know the vibes. I'm going to Venmo somebody some money, so make sure you drop a comment. Continue to show love to the algorithm for us. We greatly appreciate it. And as always, dictate your fate. Get to that cheddar, and I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video. Later, guys. More added plays added on the Action Network throughout the day, so make sure you guys are following there as well. All right? Later, gang.